Okay. இந்த வீடியோல என்ன பார்க்க போறோம்னா essay 700 forming of an opinion and reporting on financial statement. Forming an opinion on the financial statement and reporting on the financial statement in auditor's report. The objective of auditor. The objective of auditors are to form an opinion on the financial statement, whether based on the conclusion drawn from audit evidence obtained, and to express opinion on the financial statement through a written report known as auditor's report. Okay. Auditor will form the opinion. Auditor will reach the conclusion of audit based on the evidence obtained during the audit. During the audit, in planning stage and the audit procedure stage, auditor will conclude based on the audit evidence obtained. The opinion is framed by the auditor. Whether the financial statements are materially misstated or financial statements are prepared as per applicable financial reporting framework, whether any material misstatement has existed in the financial statement. So, auditor will form the opinion based on the conclusions drawn from audit evidence obtained by the auditor during the course of audit. So, next, auditor will form the opinion in first stage, and in second stage, auditor will report that opinion in the auditor's report. Okay, auditor will express that opinion on the financial statement through a written report known as auditor report. This is applicable in case of special purpose financial statement. SA 800 is applicable. In case of general purpose financial statement, SA 700 is applicable. SA 700 is applicable. So, as per SA 800, 7 and SA 700 also applicable in case of forming an opinion. Okay. Next, forming an opinion on the financial statement. What are the consideration? What are the elements is considered by the auditor while forming the opinion on the financial statement? First, the auditor shall form an opinion on whether the financial statement are prepared in material respect, in all material respect, in accordance with applicable financial reporting framework. What do you mean by applicable financial reporting framework? Applicable financial reporting framework is nothing but Indian accounting standard and its accounting standard issued by the ICI for preparing financial statement. The accounts should be prepared as per accounting standards. Okay, in India we have Indian accounting standard and accounting standard for listed entities are need to prepare as per Ind AS. Other non-corporate entities or which are not covered under Ind AS should prepare as per standards on accounting standard. Now, standards on auditing is followed by the auditor to perform the audit. The accounting standards are used by the management for presentation and disclosure of financial statement. So, as per applicable financial reporting framework, the whether the financial statement are prepared as per applicable financial statement or not, auditor should check while forming the opinion on the financial statement. So, next, in order to form that opinion, the auditor shall obtain reasonable assurance whether the financial statement as a whole are free from material misstatement, whether due to fraud or error. In case the auditor has to obtain reasonable assurance, auditor should obtain only reasonable assurance, not an absolute level of assurance. The reasonable assurance should be an high level of assurance. It should not be limited assurance. Okay, auditor should obtain reasonable assurance on the financial statement, whether the financial statement as a whole are free from material misstatement. What do you mean by material misstatement? The material misstatement means first we need to understand what is misstatement. Misstatement is there is a difference between a classification or presentation or disclosures prescribed by applicable financial statement and actually presented by the management in the financial statement. Okay, there is a difference. What do you mean by misstatement? Misstatement means any differences between information presented by the management and prescribed by the standards on auditing, that is applicable financial reporting framework. As per, there is a difference between applicable financial reporting framework and the management presentation. Okay, or disclosure, classification, measurement. The different any differences will be classified as misstatement, whether due to fraud or error. The misstatement can be of two types, that is fraud or error. Next, further, when the financial statement prepared in accordance with fair presentation framework, the auditor shall evaluate as to whether the financial statement achieves a fair presentation by considering following. Okay, the auditor should, in case of fair presentation framework, there are two types of presentation framework. Compliance framework, as per the compliance framework will be followed as per applicable law or regulation prescribed by them. In case of fair presentation, this is commonly used by, this is in case of general purpose financial statement, in to cover wide range of users, will use fair presentation framework. Okay, for fair presentation framework, the auditor shall overall presentation and structure and content of the financial statement, and whether the financial statement include the related notes, present the underlying transaction and event in a manner that achieves the fair presentation. What do you mean by fair presentation? That gives the true and fair view whether the financial statement are prepared as per applicable financial statement, and the financial statement as a whole are not, as a whole are free from material misstatement. That is fair presentation framework. So என்னன்னா இப்ப தமிழ் எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்றேன். ஆடிட்டர் வந்து ஒப்பீனியன் ஃப்ரேம் பண்ணும்போதே வெதர் ஃபினான்சியல் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் வந்து ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ணது வந்து ஆஸ் பர் அக்கௌண்டிங் ஸ்டாண்டர்ட்ல இருக்கிற ட்ரீட்மெண்ட்டை, அக்கௌண்டிங் ட்ரீட்மெண்ட்டை வந்து ஃபாலோ பண்ணிருக்காங்களா அப்படின்னு சொல்லி செக் பண்ணணும். இன்வென்டரி வேல்யூஷன் ஒன்று இருக்கு. எக்ஸாம்பிள், ஓகேவா, லோவர் ஆஃப் காஸ்ட் ஆர் என்ஆர்வி தான் வந்து இன்வென்டரிஸை வேல்யூ பண்றதுக்கு யூஸ் பண்ற மெத்தட்ஸ், மெஷர்மெண்ட். ஓகேவா, அதை வந்து கரெக்டா என்டிட்டி வந்து அப்ளை பண்ணிருக்காங்களா சொல்லி பாக்குறது தான் வந்து அப்ளிகபிள் ஃபினான்ஷியல் ரிப்போர்ட்டிங் ஃப்ரேம்வொர்க்கை ஃபாலோ பண்ணிருக்கான்னு சொல்லி பார்க்கணும். அப்புறம் ரீசனபிள் அஷூரன்ஸ். ஆடிட்டர் வந்து அவர் வந்து ப்ரொஃபஷனல் ஜட்மெண்ட் படி நான் ரீசனபிள் அஷூரன்ஸ் வந்து எடுத்துட்டேன் ஃப்ரம் த ஆடிட், அது வந்து ஃபினான்ஷியல் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் வந்து எரரோ ஃப்ராடோ இல்லாம இருக்கு அப்படிங்கிறத கன்க்ளூட் பண்ணணும் ஆடிட்டர். நெக்ஸ்ட், இந்த ஃபினான்ஷியல் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் ப்ரிப்பேர் ஃபேர் பிரசன்டேஷன்ல ஃபினான்ஷியல் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் வந்து ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ணியிருந்தா ஓவரால் பிரசன்டேஷனும் ஸ்ட்ரக்சர் அண்ட் கண்டென்ட் வந்து ஆஃப் ஃபினான்ஷியல் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் வந்து பிரிஸ்கிரைப்டு பை applicable financial reporting framework la prescribe பண்ணதா இருக்கணும். And whether the financial statement including related notes and presented in the underlying transaction events வந்து achieve the manner of presentation வந்து achieve the fair presentation, fair presentation இருக்கா இல்லையான்னு செக் பண்ணணும். அவ்வளவுதான் applicable financial reporting framework படி. Okay, in other words, auditor shall express unmodified opinion when the auditor concludes that the financial statements are prepared in all material respect in accordance with applicable financial reporting framework. ஓகேவா, சேம் இங்க சொன்னதை அப்படியே வந்து ஒரே லைன்ல கொடுத்திருக்காங்க. கன்க்ளூட் தட் தி ஃபினான்ஷியல் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் ஆர் ப்ரிப்பேர்ட் இன் ஆல் மெட்டீரியல் ரெஸ்பெக்ட் அண்ட் இன் அக்கார்டன்ஸ் வித் அப்ளிகபிள் ஃபினான்ஷியல் ரிப்போர்ட்டிங் ஃப்ரேம்வொர்க். தென் definition in case of unmodified opinion. We'll discuss unmodified opinion here. In case of modified opinion, will be detailed discussion will be on SA 705. Modification of opinion will be discussed in SA 705. Under 700, we have unmodified opinion. What do you mean by unmodified opinion? When auditor will give unmodified opinion, we have considered following. Okay, when these are all conditions are met, then auditor shall express unmodified opinion. So when the auditor concludes that the financial statement are free from material misstatement, there is no error, there is no fraud in the financial statement. Next, and financial statement are prepared as per applicable financial reporting framework, then he shall express unmodified opinion, which is also known as unqualified opinion or clean opinion. Okay, next, unmodified opinion indicates auditor has obtained sufficient appropriate audit evidence. Financial statement disclose all relevant information as required by law or regulation. Financial statement disclose all relevant information as required by law, law or regulation. Accounting policies and changes therein adequately disclosed in the financial statement. When there is a change in the accounting policies and the changes in accounting adequately disclosed in financial statement, the financial statement are prepared as per applicable financial reporting framework. Next, when unmodified opinion is given, when the financial statement, if unmodified opinion the financial statement are free from material misstatement due to fraud or error. That is, give the true and fair view. Next is Financial statement are prepared as per Indian accounting standard or accounting standard issued by the ICL. Auditor shall express unmodified opinion. In case of there is free from material statement and auditor has obtained evidence that the financial statement are prepared as per applicable financial statement, then auditor shall express unmodified opinion. Audit evidence obtained and disclosed relevant information in the financial statement as per law or regulation. Accounting policies and changes in accounting policies are adequately disclosed in the financial statement. Financial statement are prepared as per applicable financial reporting framework. Okay. By reading this, you can understand this. So there is no red marks in this. You can understand easily. Okay. Next is evaluation to be made by the auditor. The auditor shall evaluate whether the financial statement are prepared in accordance with the applicable financial reporting framework. While evaluating, auditor shall consider qualitative aspects of accounting practices. Qualitative aspects of accounting practices. The management makes number of judgment about amount and disclosure. What are the judgment? While estimating the accounting estimates, that is valuation of inventory based on cost or NRV, and valuation of PPE on revaluation model or cost model, and fair value less cost to sell in case of non-current asset held for sale. அதுக்கெல்லாம் வந்து there is a judgment by the management for amount and disclosure. Disclosure, in case of disclosure, EPS disclosure, அப்புறம் வந்து என்னன்னா செக்மெண்ட் ரிப்போர்ட்டிங், அதெல்லாம் வந்து டிஸ்க்ளோசர் பண்றப்போ there is a judgment involved by the management. Judgments are taken by the management for reporting the amounts and disclosure in financial statement. Further evaluating the accounting system, auditor may find existence of management bias and lack of neutrality over accounting practices. The situation may cause doubt on reliability of financial statement. Okay, there is a judgments வந்து நிறைய இருக்கு. அப்புறம் வந்து ஆடிட்டர் வந்து பயாஸ் இருக்கு, மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் வந்து பயாஸோட இருக்காங்க, அப்புறம் லேக் ஆஃப் நியூட்ரலிட்டி இருக்குன்னா அது என்ன பண்ணுவோம்? நான் ஆடிட்டரா இருக்கேன், அதை பார்க்கும்போது எனக்கு வந்து என்ன தோணும்? there is a doubt on the reliability of financial statement. Financial statement வந்து என்னால ரிலேபிளா இருக்கவே முடியாது. ரிலேபிலிட்டி ஆஃப் இன்ஃபர்மேஷனை வந்து நான் பார்க்கணும். நெக்ஸ்ட் இஸ் இண்டிகேட்டர்ஸ் ஆஃப் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் பயாஸ். Indicators of management bias. இந்த மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் பயாஸ் அண்ட் லேக் ஆஃப் நியூட்ரலிட்டி எப்படி இருக்குன்னா, வாட் ஆர் த இண்டிகேட்டர்ஸ், என்னெல்லாம் இண்டிகேட் பண்ணும்? செலக்டிவ் கரெக்ஷன் ஆஃப் மிஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் brought to the notice of management by the auditor. நான் வந்து மிஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் கண்டுபிடிச்சதுக்கு அப்புறம் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் கொடுக்குறேன். அவங்க என்ன பண்ணுவாங்கன்னா செலக்டிவ் கரெக்ஷன் பண்ணுவாங்க. என்னன்னா which increases the earnings இன்க்ரீஸ் பண்றதெல்லாம் வந்து கரெக்ட் பண்ணுவாங்க. ignoring the decrease in the earnings. Management will ignore the decreases in the earnings. Possible bias over selecting accounting estimate. Accounting estimate observable input of the market, that is fair value measurement. In case of fair value measurement, we have a principal market and the secondary market. So active market. The accounting estimate for fair value measurement or any other useful life or accounting estimate of useful life of the asset, and estimating the cost of sale of inventory. அதெல்லாம் எஸ்டிமேட் பண்றப்போ, அக்கௌண்டிங் எஸ்டிமேட் பண்றப்போ there is a bias over selecting appropriate accounting estimate. Next is frequent changes in accounting policies without proper reason. What are the two reasons for change in accounting policies? One is required by law and required by Ind AS. When management need to present better presentation, to present the information, relevant information வந்து பெட்டரா present பண்ணனும்னா management can change. But without reason எதுவுமே இல்லாம frequent changes பண்ணா அதுவுமே வந்து indicator of management bias over accounting practices. Okay. Qualitative aspects we have discussed. There is a number of judgment management will take. Manage வந்து நிறைய judgments and for disclosure and amounts presented in the financial statement. And auditor may while evaluating the accounting system, auditor may find the existence of management bias over lack of neutrality over accounting practices. Next is, in case of bias and lack of neutrality, this may cause the doubt on the reliability of financial statement, which may be material misstatement இருக்கலாம்ங்கிறது வரும். So what are the indicators? Selective correction and bias over selecting accounting practice, accounting estimate, and frequent changes in accounting policy without proper reason. So next is specific evaluation while forming an opinion. While forming an opinion, what are the specific evaluation will be done by the auditor? The auditor shall take into account the following specific factor while forming an opinion. whether the financial statement adequately disclose significant accounting policies selected and applied. While forming the opinion, auditor shall evaluate whether the financial statement adequately disclosed. What do you mean by disclosure? Disclosures are given below the financial statement. That is, disclosures are properly given in the financial statement, and the auditor will consider as per applicable financial reporting framework body the disclosures வந்து கொடுத்துட்டாங்கன்னு செக் பண்ணணும் while forming an opinion. Okay, whether the financial statement adequately disclose the accounting significant accounting policies selected and applied. Okay, whether accounting policies that selected and applied consistently. Okay, accounting policies எவையுமே வந்து என்ன பண்ணுவோம், கன்சிஸ்டன்டா ஃபாலோ பண்ணுவோம். Consistency is important in case of applying accounting policies. Accounting policies are applied consistently and also check they are in accordance with applicable financial reporting framework. Applicable financial reporting படி அது வந்து கரெக்டா இருக்கா இல்லையான்னு செக் பண்ணணும் அண்ட் அதை வந்து கன்சிஸ்டன்டா அப்ளை பண்றாங்கன்னு செக் பண்ணணும். whether the accounting estimate made by the management is reasonable. எப்பயுமே அக்கௌண்டிங் எஸ்டிமேட் செக் பண்றப்போ நம்மளுக்கு ரீசனபிள்ங்கிற வார்த்தை வந்துடணும். ரீசனபிளான ஒரு அக்கௌண்டிங் எஸ்டிமேட்டா இருக்கா இல்லையான்னு நம்ம செக் பண்ண வேண்டியதா இருக்கு. நெக்ஸ்ட், whether information presented in the financial statement is relevant, reliable, comparable, understandable, not misleading. Okay, இது என்ன சொல்லுவோம், ரிலவெண்ட், ரிலேயபிள், அதெல்லாம் என்ன சொல்லுவோம், இதெல்லாம் வந்து இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் சார் கம்பேரபிளா இருக்கணும். ஓகேவா? ஸோ இதெல்லாம் வந்து சேம் வந்து எங்க படிச்சிருக்கோம், அக்கௌண்டிங்லயும் படிச்சிருக்கோம், எஃப்ஆர்லயும் வரும். ரிலவெண்டா இருக்கணும், ரிலேபிளா இருக்கணும், கம்பேரபிளா இருக்கணும், அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டபிளா இருக்கணும், நாட் மிஸ்லீடிங்கா இருக்கும். இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் எது வந்து ப்ரெசென்ட் பண்ணிருக்கணும் அந்த இன்ஃபர்மேஷனா ரிலவெண்ட் இன்ஃபர்மேஷனா இருக்கணும், ரிலேபிள் இன்ஃபர்மேஷனா இருக்கணும், கம்பேரபிளா இருக்கணும். கம்பேரபிள்னா என்ன? Comparable with other entities financial statement and comparable with prior period financial statement. Same financial entity oda financial statement oda comparable இருக்கணும் and comparable with other entities in the market. So understandable and not misleading. Whether the terminology used in the financial statement including title of each assertions in the financial statement are appropriate. Terminology na use பண்றது, terminology used in the financial statement prescribed. ஓகேவா? அக்கௌண்டிங் ஃபினான்ஷியல் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் வந்து எப்படி ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ணணும், அதில் யூஸ் பண்ற டெக்னாலஜிலாம் வந்து கரெக்டா அப்ராப்ரியேட்டா யூஸ் பண்றாங்களான்னு சொல்லி ஆர்டர் செக் பண்ணணும். ஸ்பெசிபிக் எவாலுவேஷன் ஒரு ஃபார்மிங் த ஒப்பீனியன். ஒப்பீனியன் ஃபார்ம் பண்ணும்போது என்ன எவாலுவேஷன் பண்ணணும்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஆல்ரெடி டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணிட்டோம். ஓகேவா? வாட் ஆர் த இந்த இது கூட நம்ம ஸ்பெசிபிக் எவாலுவேஷன் பண்ணணும். என்ன பண்ணணும்? அடிக்வேட் டிஸ்க்ளோசர் இன் த ஃபினான்ஷியல் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட். அக்கௌண்டிங் பாலிசிஸ்லாம் வந்து அடிக்வேட்லி டிஸ்க்ளோசர் இந்த ஃபினான்ஷியல் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட். அப்புறம் அப்ளைடு வந்து கன்சிஸ்டன்டா ஃபாலோ பண்ணிருக்கோம். செலக்டட் அண்ட் அப்ளைடு வந்து அடிக்வேட் டிஸ்க்ளோசர் இருக்கணும், அப்ளை கன்சிஸ்டன்சியும் பார்க்கணும். அக்கௌண்டிங் எஸ்டிமேட்டுக்கு என்ன செக் பண்ணணும், ரீசனபிளா இல்லையான்னு செக் பண்ணணும். இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் பிரசன்ட் இந்த ஃபினான்ஷியல் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் வந்து ரிலவெண்டா இருக்கணும், ரிலேபிளா இருக்கணும், அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டபிளா இருக்கணும், கம்பேரபிளா இருக்கணும், நாட் மிஸ்லீடிங்கா இருக்கணும். ஓகே, த டெர்மினாலஜி யூஸ்ட் இன் த ஃபினான்ஷியல் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் ஆர் அப்ராப்ரியேட்டா இருக்கணும். ஓகே, நெக்ஸ்ட், when modified opinion is issued. When modified opinion is issued, the auditor concludes that based on the sufficient appropriate audit evidence obtained, the financial statement as whole are not free from material misstatement. In case of free from material misstatement, auditor will express unmodified opinion. Auditor will not modify the opinion. In case of financial statement based on the audit evidence obtained, the financial statement are not free from material misstatement, or if auditor is unable to obtain, auditor obtained the evidence. In first case, auditor has obtained the evidence that the financial statements are not free from material misstatement. What do you mean by evidence? There is a fraud or error that in the financial statement that is not free from material misstatement. Based on the evidence, we have evidence, and that evidence gives you the financial statement are not free from material misstatement. Material misstatement இல்லாம financial statement இல்ல, material misstatement இருக்கு அப்படின்னா modified opinion issue பண்ணணும். And என்னால வந்து unable to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence to conclude that the financial statement as a whole are free from material misstatement. என்னால வந்து எவிடன்ஸே அப்டெயின் பண்ண முடியல. ஏன்னா மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் வந்து கல்யூஷன் பண்ணி எவிடன்ஸே இல்லாத அளவுக்கு மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் வந்து ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ணிக்கலாம். இல்லைன்னா ஸ்கோப் லிமிடேஷன்ஸ் வச்சு ஆடிட்டரை வந்து எவிடன்ஸ் அப்டெயின் பண்ணாம விட்டுருந்தா there is a unable to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence. Auditor obtained sufficient appropriate audit evidence and not free from material misstatement, or unable to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence to conclude the financial statement are free from material misstatement. Okay, 2 கேசஸ் இருக்கு, எவிடன்ஸ் இருக்கு. ஃபினான்ஷியல் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் வந்து நாட் ஃப்ரீ ஃப்ரம் மெட்டீரியல் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் தெரியுது. நெக்ஸ்ட் இஸ் என்கிட்ட எவிடன்ஸே இல்லை கன்க்ளூட் பண்றதுக்கு, அது ஃப்ரீ ஃப்ரம் மெட்டீரியல் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் தான் சொல்லிட்டு என்கிட்ட கன்க்ளூட் பண்றதுக்கு என்கிட்ட இல்லை. There are two or any one condition should be satisfied to modify the opinion. What are the contents of the auditor's report? Okay, contents of the auditor report. First one is title. Title. The auditor report clearly indicate the independent auditor's report. Okay, it should indicate that it is the independent auditor's report as per SA 700. Addressing generally shareholders and those charged with the governance. Opinion section contains expression of opinion on the financial statement, reference to applicable financial reporting framework, that is Indian accounting standard or accounting standard. Next, identification of audited financial statement. Clear indication that entities financial statement have been audited. That is example, balance sheet, profit and loss account, cash flow statement, notes, including the period covered. What are the, when the period is April to March, including period covered. The auditor should include the period covered in the auditor's report. Next one is statement of independence and ethics. The auditor's declaration. Auditor to declare auditor is independent of the entity. This is the independent auditor report. The auditor need to be independent from the entity. Okay. The auditor has fulfilled ethical responsibilities in accordance with Code of Ethics issued by the ICI. That is, we have studied professional ethics chapter, and that we have Code of Ethics issued by the ICI. So, ethical requirement is necessary in case of audit. Next, going concern section. When there is a material uncertainty related to going concern, as per SA 570, the material uncertainty related to going concern para should be included in case of material uncertainty related to going concern is appropriate. So, 7th one, basis for qualified opinion, basis for opinion para. We have opinion para here, and also we have basis for opinion para. A selection, okay, basis for opinion para, adverse opinion para if applicable. As per SA 705, we will discuss in next videos. So, a section explaining basis for modification of opinion. The reason for modification will be included in the basis for opinion para or adverse opinion para. Basis for adverse opinion para. Key audit matters. The auditor shall include key audit matter as per SA 701, will be discussed in next video. Okay. Now, what is key audit matter is included in auditor report. Content is includes key audit matter. Next one is management responsibility. Auditor shall include the management responsibility regarding preparation of financial statement and those charged with the governance responsible for oversight of financial reporting process. TCWG வந்து என்ன பண்ணுவாங்கன்னா ஓவர்சைட் பண்ணுவாங்க, ஃபினான்ஷியல் ரிப்போர்ட்டிங் ப்ராசஸ் வந்து ஓவர்சைட் பண்ணுவாங்க. நெக்ஸ்ட் இஸ் ஆடிட்டர்ஸ் ரெஸ்பான்சிபிலிட்டி, ரெஃபரன்ஸ் டு ஸ்டாண்டர்ட்ஸ் ஆன் ஆடிட்டிங். ஆடிட்டர் ரெஸ்பான்சிபிலிட்டி, ஸ்டாண்டர்ட்ஸ் ஆன் ஆடிட்டிங்கோட ரெஃபரன்ஸ் கொடுக்கணும், லா ரெகுலேஷன் வந்து ரெஃபரன்ஸ் கொடுக்கணும். Detailed description of auditor's responsibility in conducting the audit. What are the auditor's responsibility? Forming an opinion, expressing an opinion, whether the financial statement or free from material statement as per applicable financial reporting framework அப்படின்னு நம்ம சொல்லணும். Next is auditor's signature, manual or digital signature of the auditor, individual or a firm or as applicable. As applicable, firm யூஸ் பண்ணணும் or individual யூஸ் பண்ணணும். Engagement partner யாரோ உங்களோட signature கன்ஃபார்மா இன்க்ளூட் பண்ணணும். Next is place of signature, the location of where the audit report is signed, city or town. Date of auditor's report, date when the auditor signs the report, date when the auditor signs the report. This is applies both manually and digitally signed report, including those uploaded online. Okay, online la வந்து in case of tax audit or statutory audit, will upload the document in website of the authority. So, in case of online also, the digitally signed report should include date of auditor's report. Next one is UIN. The document, unique document identification number, should mandatorily mentioned in all reports and certificate issued by the auditor to the client. So, next one is audit report. If audit is conducted, both standards on auditing and international standards on auditing. When the auditor is required to conduct audit in accordance with both standards on auditing and international standards on auditing or any other jurisdiction standards, okay, the report can refer both standards, can do so only when the auditor required to conduct audit in accordance with standards on auditing and also as per international standards or any other standard as per the jurisdiction. Okay, the report can refer both standards only if the auditor must ensure that there is no contradiction between standards on auditing and the international standards on auditing. Next is, if conflict exists, could lead to difference of opinion or omission of emphasis of matter paragraph or other matter paragraph, dual reference is not allowed. That is, in case of conflict exists, that could lead to difference of opinion. There is a difference of opinion as per SA and an international standard on auditing. So this should not be allowed. Dual reference is not allowed. Only there is no contradiction. If conflict exists, dual reference is not allowed. Okay. If the auditor follows reporting structure of international standards on auditing, the report should still include all the elements of standards on auditing. Auditor வந்து international standards follow பண்ணாலுமே include all the elements of required by standards on auditing. எல்லா எலமெண்ட்ஸும் இதுல இருக்க எல்லா எலமெண்ட்ஸும் வந்து கண்டென்ட்ஸ் என்னெல்லாம் இருக்கோ எலமெண்ட்ஸ் இருக்கோ அது எல்லாத்தையும் வந்து ஆடிட்டர் வந்து இன்க்ளூட் பண்ணணும். இன் கேஸ் ஆஃப் ஸ்ட்ரக்சரை ஃபாலோ பண்ணலாம், ஆனா பட் எல்லா எலமெண்ட்ஸும் வந்து ஸ்டாண்டர்ட்ஸ் ஆன் ஆடிட்டிங் தான் இருக்கணும். எனி ரெஃபரன்சஸ் of law regulation should be understood as referring the standard on the auditing. Next one is whether report refer both international accounting standard and the standards on auditing. It must clearly identify each standard and mention the jurisdiction of origin of other accounting standard, other auditing standard. Okay va, jurisdiction வந்து clear-ஆ வந்து சொல்லணும். In auditor reportல both standards on auditing and international standards on auditing refer பண்றோம்னா origin, that is jurisdiction of origin வந்து clear-ஆ identify பண்ணணும். Okay, next one is supplementary information along with financial statement. If supplementary informations are presented in the financial statement along with financial statement, so we need to check whether supplementary information is integral part. If it is integral part, as per nature and presentation, if considered integral, the auditor opinion should cover such supplementary information. If it is integral part of the financial statement, auditor opinion should cover supplementary information also. If it is not integral part, check whether the management presented supplementary information is distinguished from financial statement. If not clearly separated, that is not distinguished, request the management to distinguish properly. If the management refuses, the auditor must identify and explain that the supplementary information is unaudited. In the auditor report, auditor shall explain and identify that the supplementary informations are not audited. Okay, some examples of integral and non-integral referred by yourself. That's it. We have completed SA 700. We'll quickly discuss SA 700 once again. Quick fire revision. Okay. SA 700, forming an opinion and expressing an opinion. That is, expressing means reporting on the financial statement. Okay. Objective of auditor to form an opinion on the financial statement and expressing an opinion on the financial statement, whether financial statement are free from material statement based on the audit evidence obtained. Okay. While forming an opinion, following are should be considered by the auditor: whether the financial statement are free from it in material respect in accordance with the applicable financial reporting framework, that is Ind AS and AS. In order to form that opinion, auditors will obtain a reasonable assurance whether the financial statement are free from material misstatement due to fraud or error. Next one is, in accordance fair presentation, evaluate whether the financial statement are achieve the fair presentation by considering overall presentation, structure and content of the financial statement, and also whether the financial statement, including related notes, represent the underlying transaction or event manner that achieve the fair presentation. Okay. Definition. What do you mean by unmodified opinion? What is the definition of unmodified opinion? If the when auditor concludes that the financial statement are free from material misstatement, that is proves the that gives the true and fair view, and also prepared in accordance with the applicable financial reporting framework shall express unmodified opinion, is also known as unqualified opinion or clean opinion. Next one is, what are the indicators of unmodified opinion? Auditor has obtained the evidence and disclosed in all relevant information as per required by law or regulation. Accounting policies are applied consistently. Changes therein adequately disclosed in the financial statement. Next, the financial statement are prepared as per applicable financial reporting framework. Evaluation to be made by the auditor. What are the evaluation? That is qualitative aspects of accounting practices of the entity and the specific evaluation. First one is qualitative judgment. Management makes number of judgments about amounts and disclosure. So auditor has to evaluate the accounting practices. So auditor may find some existence of management bias and neutrality over lack of neutrality over accounting practices. For this, it may the bias and the lack of neutrality may cause the auditor significant doubt about reliability of the financial statement, which may be materially misstated. What are the indicators? Selective correction and accounting estimate. Bias over selecting accounting estimate. Next one is changes accounting policy frequently. Management without proper reason, the management changes the accounting policies. Next one is specific evaluation or forming an opinion. The auditor shall take into account following factors while forming an opinion. The auditor shall whether the financial statement adequately disclose the accounting policies. Accounting policies வந்து applied and selected and applied வந்து adequate disclose பண்ணிருக்கோமான்னு செக் பண்ணணும். accounting policies வந்து கன்சிஸ்டன்டா அப்ளை பண்ணிருக்குமான்னு பார்க்கணும். accounting estimates are reasonable இருக்கான்னு பார்க்கணும். next one is the information presented in the financial statement வந்து relevant இருக்கணும், reliable இருக்கணும், comparable இருக்கணும், understandable இருக்கணும், not misleading இருக்கணும். whether the terminology used in the financial statement are appropriate இருக்கணும். financial statementல யூஸ் பண்ணிருக்க terms or words இந்த financial statement வந்து appropriate இருக்கணும். When modified opinion is given, auditor conclude that the financial statement are not from based on the evidence obtained on the not free from material misstatement, and auditor is unable to obtain the sufficient appropriate audit evidence to conclude that the financial statement are free from material misstatement. Next, what are the contents? Title, addressee, opinion section, known as identification of audited financial statement. What are the elements in the financial statement? And the statement of independence and the code of ethics issued by the ICA, that is ethical requirement. Going concern, in case of material uncertainty related to going concern, the auditor will issue unmodified opinion. So the separate paragraph for material uncertainty related to going concern will be included in the auditor's report. Next one is basis for qualified opinion and adverse opinion, key audit matters para, under management responsibility, auditor's responsibility, auditor's signature, place of signature, date of auditor's report, UDIN. In key audit matters also we have other emphasis of matter paragraph also included as per SA 706 and other matter paragraph as per 706. Next is auditor report, both standards on auditing and international standards on auditing. Auditor shall refer both standard only if no contradiction. If conflict exists, dual reference is not allowed. Okay, if conflict இருந்தா dual reference பண்ணக்கூடாது. Next is structure of international standards on auditing. The auditor shall must include essential elements required by standards on auditing. Standards on auditing கொடுக்குற elements தான் வந்து include பண்ணணும். அப்புறம் வந்து referring the standards on auditing வந்து any references of law or regulation should be understood as referring to the standards on auditing. Next one is refer both standards and identification of jurisdiction of origin. Standards on auditing both கொடுக்குறப்போ jurisdiction of origin of other auditing standard வந்து எந்த jurisdictionல இருக்குங்கிறத clear-ஆ indicate பண்ணணும். Next is supplementary information along with the financial statement. If supplementary information which is not required as per applicable financial statement is presented, that is applicable financial statement not required, but it is presented as the integral part of the financial statement, then auditor's opinion should be covered for supplementary information. If not integral part, entity should clearly differentiate the audited financial statement and supplementary information. If not clearly separated or distinguished, require the management to distinguish properly. If management refuses, identify and explain in the auditor's report that the supplementary informations are unaudited or not audited by the auditor. Okay, that's it. Thank you.